Right, sending live. Whoop. Yay. All seems to be working. Hi. Let's see. Let me know if you can't hear me. I have funny ears. I can't get these ear pods to go down. They just fall out. So I'm just going to be that weirdo with the ear pods sticking out. Hopefully they'll stay in my ears this time. Last time they were falling out all over the place. About a minute or so before we'll get started. Got everything set up, ready to go. Got a nice yin class for creativity today. Some of my favorite things that I do when I need to get the creative juices going. Okay. Let's see. That. Hi, I'm Dana Diamant, and welcome to Yoga Medicine Online. For this practice today, you're going to want to have a block, a blanket, and a bolster. You can also have just household items for any of these. They won't be too precise. You can have cushions from your couch, you can have towels, you can have pillows. So just grab a few things and you just use them to help you be more comfortable. Okay, we are going to get started in a seat. So I'm going to sit on my bolster, find something to sit on, and just get comfortable. Okay, once you're comfortable there, go ahead and either shut the eyes or just lower the gaze down towards the floor. Now, if you're coming into this practice in the middle of a project or a deadline and you're feeling that sense of pressure, and for me, when I'm trying to be creative, that feeling of pressure of needing to perform or come up with something brilliant can be debilitating. So what we're going to try to do is let go of some of that pressure and then also let go of perhaps some of our patterns or some of our usual ways of looking at whatever it is that we're working on or whatever we're dealing with so that we can create some space or clear the way for something new and fresh, something more creative to come in, to enter. Sometimes I feel like I don't know where that creative idea came from. It just sort of appeared or entered, right? And the clearer I can be, the less pressure, the less expectations that I have, usually that leads to a better outcome. And this is great for our yoga practice because we always try to let go of expectations and let go of judgment. So the two of them really work together quite well. So take a moment to let go of any expectations, even any sense of timeline or deadlines, so that this next hour is just a place for you to connect to yourself, to your passion, and to the love of whatever it is that you're working on. We're going to start with some breath work. We're going to do Chandra Beta Pranayama. So we'll take Mudra with our right hand. You're going to want to fold your second and third finger in We're going to take the thumb to the right nostril, our ring finger and pinky finger to the left nostril. In Chandra Beta, we're just inhaling left and exhaling right. And then we come back to the left. We'll inhale and exhale. Repeating the same pattern the whole time. So as we do that, as we inhale through the left, we're inducing or inviting in qualities of the inside, that calm, introspective awareness. And we're exhaling the pressure, the busyness, right, that sense of a deadline, that need to perform, all of that kind of yang. We're exhaling that out of the right side. So bring the hand to the nose. Close your eyes again. Close off the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Close left, exhale right. Close right, inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Close the right, inhale through the left. Close left, exhale right. Keep going there. Close right, inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Close the right, inhale through the left. Close left, exhale right. Close right, inhale left. Exhale right. You've got 3 more rounds on your own. When you're finished, you just place your hand on your lap and sit. There's no rush. And just notice the effect of the breath work in beginning to create clear space, in beginning to take away the filter, the usual way in which we see and look at things. And it's not always instantaneous. There's often a transition. We need to go slowly with ourselves. Opening the eyes there. And come off your prop for a moment. We're going to come into butterfly Baddha. So if you know that you like to sit on something to get your hips up a little bit higher and help you tilt the pelvis forward, please grab your blanket or block to sit on. We'll then stack our props as well. So I'll use all my props here. I like to get my forehead, I like to have something to rest my forehead on. And I'll probably take my feet a little bit wider than my bolster so that I don't have the pressure of the props on top of my bolster. As I fold forward, I'm gonna rest my forehead right on top of the block. And let my arms just dangle and be heavy. So I'm not pulling myself into the pose. I want to feel a sense of effortlessness here with my arms or with my muscles. I am looking for some intensity, some feeling, perhaps coming to an edge.
But I'm not going to my deepest, fullest range of motion. I'm here maybe 60%. I'm using the props to help me find stillness. And that stillness is really a pathway inwards. And that stillness also facilitates a release of built up tension or pressure. And allowing the deeper energies of the body to move more freely. Help us find a sense of freedom and ease through our movements and also through our creative energies. So we're taking a brief look here at a traditional lens. We're taking a look with a traditional lens. We're going to look a little bit from the chakra system and also talk a little bit about Chinese medicine. So creativity is very much associated with the sacral, the root chakra, the place of creation within our bodies, reproduction, our ability to bring forth life. And this translates as well as to our ability to create and produce not just life, but give birth to ideas and see them through. So you might focus your mind's attention right at the base of the spine. Now just be here for another minute. Keep bringing your attention right to the base of the spine, right to the sacrum, to the back of the pelvis. Noticing any sensations there, just bringing your loving kindness, awareness into this part of the body. Take one more breath. And slowly coming on up. Bring the hands behind you, slowly straighten out the legs, and just get them a little bit of a shake. And as you connect through your spine, you can close your eyes again and just feel the rebound effect, or whether you can sense that feeling of chi or prana running through the body, or maybe even just the tissues soaking up fluids as we come out of the pose. Not looking too hard for something, just opening up all of your senses to perceive. Bend your knees and let's come up into kneeling position here. We're going to come into some lunges. So I like to have my bolster and my blanket here for my lunges. And let's just bring my hands around the bolster and the blanket and just step your right foot forward. Now I'm going to position my left thigh right in front of my bolster, so I like to have a little bit of support underneath the hip. I'm going to bring that blanket all the way back. I'm going to keep my arms straight. You could very well bring your forearms onto the blanket and the bolster. You could also have a little extra support there with the block, maybe for your head. So just find a position. We're here for just 2 minutes. It is a little bit more active pose, but find a place where you can be still. Working again right into this kind of groin, sacral, reproductive area. Also chose this pose because for me personally, it makes me feel quite reactive. And so it's a nice place to practice just letting those reactions go, letting go of any frustrations, being able to stay present even within any sense of discomfort. We've got 3 more breaths. Up to you how you would like to, or what counter pose you would like to do. So I'm going to step back to downward facing dog, but you might want a child's pose, or you might just want to find a seat back on your heels. And just have a moment, again, to rinse off and to notice the energies of the body and the mind. When you're ready, you're going to drop the knees down to the floor again. And let's come into it the same way. You might need to just move your props over to one side. Step your left foot around the bolster. Bring your hands to the floor or your forearms up onto your props. Settle in. You know that I find often with lunges, sometimes there's never the perfect arrangement of props, and you can keep trying to move it around and move it around and move it around, and then you just miss it. So pick something, let it be imperfect if it needs to be. And then just watch. Watch the sensations, watch your reactions. Meet any sense of intensity with a deeper, fuller breath. We've got 30 more seconds here. Notice the back body. Notice the back of the pelvis. Notice the front of the hips. Right into the groin. Last breath. Again, your choice. Down dog, child's pose. Lie on your back. Have a minute to feel the energy recirculating, moving. Continue to let go of judgment and expectations. Feel that with each pose, it's almost like you're cleaning the lenses with which you look out into the world. Opening up your senses to receive new information, different kinds of information, without having to label it or put it in a category. One more breath in. We're going to come back to a seat. We're going to have one more pose here, focusing a little bit more on the sacrum and kind of the groin area. So it's going to be our straddle pose at the Vishakanasana. Again, if you have that tendency to roll back, just like we did in the first one, please elevate your hips, block your blanket. Now, me personally, I like having something under my chest and my belly here. So I'm going to place a block under my bolster, so the bolster is angled towards me. And then I'm going to take my blanket and roll it so that I can get my chest. I'm going to use my forearms as a little pillow here. And then just come down and rest. So this arrangement may or may not work for you. If you're not folding down that far, I'll just show you this very quickly. I also find this setup with the bolster quite helpful. You can just have just the bolster on the angle and put your head on the bolster. Though make sure that the other end of the bolster is on your sticky mat. So you may need to turn yourself around because you don't want the bolster sliding here. It will just slide. Get creative with your props. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. And I'm going to do it. And part of creativity is that there's not just one way. There's not just a right way. It's our ability to consider several routes, several pathways, to experiment, to be open to trial and error. And yoga is so wonderful at showing us when we just gotten stuck in one way of doing things. Our bodies want to learn and change it up. Maybe challenging or tricky or uncomfortable in the moment, but ultimately that novelty really pays off. And so we spend a little bit of time here in silence. Pay attention to where your mind takes you. If you're daydreaming, if you're wandering off, if you're getting sleepy, pick one point of focus in your body. Maybe that is back to the sacrum or the pelvis. Maybe it's the front of the belly, the groin area. Choose one place so you have an anchor. We'll have a minute here in total silence. Redirect your focus when you find yourself wandering. Notice where you are. Notice what keeps coming up when you do pay attention, moment to moment awareness. Is there a repetitive theme? Sometimes the simplest way out of the pattern is just simply to notice it and recognize it. If you're newer to this, we can often fall into a trap when we start to pay attention to the contents of our mind, thinking that, oh, because I'm quiet, what's coming up is really important. But it's not necessarily true. It can be true, but it doesn't necessarily have to be true every time. Sometimes we can kind of go, oh wow, I keep thinking those useless things. And just recognizing and watching that can help to change, to shift it. We've got 3 more breaths here. Okay, slowly bringing your spine back to upright. And bring your hands underneath your knees to help bend the knees and bring the legs a bit closer together, enough to move the props to the side. And you might like to lean back, bend the knees, bring the feet flat, and gently waggle the knees side to side, allowing this movement to bring the energy from the legs right back into the pelvis and the groin and the sacrum. And recirculating. Come and find a comfortable seat again. We're going to switch gears a little bit to focusing some upper body. So I'm going to sit on my blanket and find a comfortable seat just here with my legs crossed. If you're not comfortable sitting cross-legged, you can also sit in hero's pose in Virasana with the thighs parallel. So once you're settled there, you're going to take the right arm up, then the elbow, and then reach with your left hand and grab a hold of that elbow and just decide whether this is enough. This might be plenty. If you're feeling this in the lower back, just draw the ribs in lightly. Or if you want to take full Gomukhasana arms, take your left hand behind your back, and you might reach to clasp your hands, or you might just hold onto your shirt just slightly there. We're going to just be here for a minute. You close the eyes and bring the gaze inwards. So I'm going to target the arms and the chest a little bit in the next few poses. And we're looking more from still an Eastern tradition, but from a Chinese medicine perspective at the fire element. And the meridians that run through the arms, these channels of energy related to our passion and our spirit. And we've got 3 more breaths. Slowly release. I'm going to switch sides, so reach the left arm up, bend the elbow. And then just start just with a half. And if needed, you'll come into a full.
go inwards. Notice all of the energy around the heart space, sensations, the shoulders and the arms. And creative endeavors require endless amounts of passion. And once that passion spark goes out, it's often hard to get restarted again. And I can attest personally, I have many creative projects left unfinished. It's nice to just come back and just top up on the passion, to take a break and remember why it is that we love it so much, how it makes us feel in our hearts, and how it makes our spirit come to life. One more breath here. Really releasing that. And just bringing the hands to rest on the lap. Maybe a little shake of the wrists and the hands. For some of us, our creative pursuits really come right from the hands. Maybe opening and closing fists. Or we spend a lot of time on the computer. We do a lot of creative work on the computer these days. So just allowing that energy to just shake loose a bit. And rest the hands in the lap. And so to notice just that movement through the upper body, allowing that imagination to course through the veins without any restrictions, without any obstacles. Take a breath here. I'm going to bring my right hand out to the side, reach my left arm up and over, and I'm just going to grab a hold of the side of my head with my fingertips, and then let my head drop into my hand. So a little bit of kind of active feeling through that left arm. We're not here for long. Meeting any waves of intensity with a deeper, fuller breath. One more here. Bring yourself back to upright. Lower down all the way to the floor on the other side. Reach your right arm up and over. Use your hand to grab a hold of the side of your face. And then drop the head into the hand. One more breath. The left hand in, bring your spine back to upright. Drop your arm down. Place the hands again on the lap. Close the eyes. And feel the heart begin to open from the sides of the body, from the side of the rib cage, from the back of the rib cage. Feel that opening from the sides and the back. Lift the sternum up and forward.
One more breath here. Go head down, interlace the hands behind the back, and bring the fists over to the left side and just drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And sometimes when our creativity is struggling, there's can be just this disconnect between the mind and the heart. Our heart, where our vivacity resides, where our inner truths, where our unique perspective lies. Sometimes when we get really caught up in our heads, we can often also be just too caught up in what the outer world is imposing on us. Caught up on those other people's expectations of us. As we find this opening through the side of the neck, feel this pathway between the heart and the mind, just rebalancing. We can kind of go back and forth really easily between our intelligence and our imagination. One more breath here. And take your left hand out of the clasp, bring it to the side of the face, and just use your hand to push your head up. Bring your hand back into the clasp, bring it around to the other side, and then drop right ear to right shoulder. And it's always so obvious when the joy is missing. And there's no heart in the creative pursuit that comes out of where we want it to. And one more breath here. And take the right hand to the side of the face. Push the head back up. Come off whatever you're sitting on. And our last one, we're going to lie on the belly. I'm going to use a blanket underneath my rib cage. You could also use the block. And as I come into this, I'm going to bring my left arm right in front of my chest and my right arm on top. And then I'm going to drop my head down now. If your head doesn't reach the floor, go ahead and get that block or the blanket or even the bolster. You don't need as much space under the rib cage here. You could have a smaller roll here as well, which would help to get the head to the floor. But I find having some support under the ribs just decreases the intensity of the stretch in the shoulders and just makes it a little bit more comfortable to stay here slightly longer. So take the time that you need to be really comfortable so that you can be still. If you find yourself getting cold or a little bit sleepy, it's often a It's a nice sign that you're coming into more of that yin place, yielding, effortlessness, calm and introspective. Now the lower half of my body here is totally relaxed. My feet, my legs, my hips, not doing anything. I'm still working into a sense of passion, joy, and intimacy. One of my teachers used to say, intimacy is in to me, I see. Self-expression. To be able to really know ourselves clearly, well, compassion, kindness. Letting go of being your own harshest critic and me be your number one friend. And you remain intimate with your inner world here. Last breath. And just lift your head and your chest up enough that you can slide your other arm down front. And then come right back down again. If you're comfortable, you can switch to an open monitoring style, taking on a meditative quality to the pose where you just open to receiving or looking at anything that comes into your field of perception, your senses, rather than choosing one point of focus. We allow the thoughts, the sensations, the sounds, the textures, whatever it is, to just come and go. Like the waves of the ocean, ebbing and flowing. If that feels unhelpful and you prefer to have one point of focus to redirect your mind to when it wanders, choose something. Choose a breath, choose a body part. Maybe a word that you repeat. 3 more breaths. Slowly lift the head and cross the arms. Come up onto all fours. Just come into a little bit of a cat and a cow. And maybe make that a little bit circular. So allowing energy to run back through the spine. And lift your right arm up and lower it down. And lift your left arm up and lower it down. And just come up onto the fingertips. One more cat and cow. Then we can make it a little bit more circular and sway the hips side to side. Okay, we're going to lie down. And you're going to come into your favorite twist. Now you can do this with props or without props. So you might cross both of the legs, twist to the left, take the legs to the left first. You might have knees together, or you might just bring your right knee into your chest. You can also just keep the feet on the floor and drop the legs over to the left. So you choose. Once you get situated, straight away, bring your awareness back inside, back inward. And use the breath to pull you inward. Be with yourself, be in your internal landscape. And let the outer world just wait. Let it wait a little bit longer. Take one more breath there. And then come back to the center and take your twist to the other side. Let's do the same twist. And bring your knees back to the center. And from here, you have the option to just come straight to Shavasana. You can extend your legs and lie flat. Or if you'd like, we'll take a supported Shavasana using the block and the bolster, or whatever you have, to just create a little bit of an incline here. And if you're getting a little bit chilly, you might want to use a blanket to cover up. And then come on down. Let go of all the effort as your body settles into the ground, allowing the earth to receive you. Feeling the nourishment from your practice and taking a break to refuel, to reconnect. And let your whole being here just be a vessel for receiving the fruits of your practice. Letting go of analyzing, letting go of ideating. So it's not a time to be brainstorming. It's a time to remain empty. And if something comes in and fills you up, receive. Still try to be in that place of yin, of yielding. Bring your awareness back into your space, back into your body. If it feels right for you in your body, you might want to stretch your arms up over your head. Moving over to the side, if that makes sense. Pausing there for a moment. And if you took the upright shavasana, you might just want to transition right up to a seat. And now we will end with a little bit more sitting, so feel free to, again, tuck your hips up. Okay, so you have a choice to make. If it is nighttime and you're practicing in preparation for a big day tomorrow of creativity, you're going to repeat Chandra Beta Pranayama, the one that we did when we started. Inhale left, exhale right. If you would like to get up now and go do something productive and have a little bit more energy, we're going to do Surya Beta Pranayama. So you're going to inhale right, exhale left, the opposite of how we started. Okay, so nighttime, you want to stay in the yin, you're going to go to sleep soon, you're inhaling left, exhaling right. Okay, if you're going to get up and be productive and you want to be more yang and have energy or socialize, you're going to inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. Same thing with the hand. Right hand comes to the nose. And you're just going to do 10 rounds. So you're going to move at your own pace. Let the breath be easeful. Let it be full and smooth. Long to your nose. Resting your hand on your lap. Take a breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Notice the whole body. Notice the mind, the heart, spirit, all the layers of your being that you relate to. Feel integrated, whole, connected. Passion, joy. Let this feeling of not being in a rush, not having a timeline, continue to take it with you as you go forward. So that there's always a sense of calm that you can bring into your creativity, a sense of passion to really fuel you, keep you motivated. It's meaningful to you, bring your hands together. You just leave them somewhere on your body. thanking yourself for your practice. Bringing the hands down to the floor and honoring something bigger, greater than yourself, offering up this practice. Bringing the hands back into the lap. And gently opening the eyes. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dana. I'll see you soon. Hope you found that helpful.
All right, my friends, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you have very creative, fun pursuits ahead of you, whether that's tonight or tomorrow. See you later.